Alright, settle in, everyone. Today, I've got a tale that might make you believe in a little bit of magic or maybe just in the power of kindness. It's about the most unexpected lottery win on the most ordinary of days. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lottery wins are all about luck, right? But let me tell you, the way the story unfolds, it's more about heart than it is about chance. Stick with me, because you're in for a ride. So, it all started on what seemed like just another regular day. I was going about my usual routine, a bit of morning coffee, the buzz of traffic outside, the sound of the city coming alive. I didn't expect anything out of the ordinary to happen. But there's always something that surprises you when you least expect it, isn't there? I was standing in line at the local diner, grabbing my usual scrambled eggs and a side of toast, when I overheard someone talking about the lottery. I don't usually play, not because I don't want to win, but because I never really thought I'd win. But in that moment, something inside me clicked. I just had this feeling, this instinct, that today might be different. You know how it is when you get that gut feeling. It's like a little whisper, telling you to do something you wouldn't normally do. So I decided to buy a ticket. Honestly, I didn't even think twice about it. Just grabbed it from the counter, tucked it in my pocket, and went on with my day. Fast forward a few hours and here I am, sitting on my couch, the lottery draw happening on the TV in the background. I wasn't paying much attention, just had it on while I scrolled through my phone, half watching and half distracted. And then, something strange happened. They called out a number and it clicked. My heart started pounding in my chest, and I fumbled with my ticket, my hands trembling as I read the numbers. I couldn't believe it, my ticket matched the numbers they just called out. I had won. I had actually won. But here's the twist, this isn't just about the money. This is about what happened after I realized I had this windfall in my hands. Because I'm sure you're wondering, okay, great, you won the lottery, now what? Well, here's where it gets interesting. In that moment, as the excitement rushed through me, something else started to take shape in my mind. I didn't just want to use this money for myself. I didn't want to spend it all on the usual stuff, cars, vacations, things I didn't need. No, I started thinking about how I could make this win mean something more. How could I help others with this? How could this moment, this serendipitous thing that had happened to me, change more lives than just mine? So, I began to do what anyone would do when they're thrown into a situation like this, reach out. I knew people who could use help, and I realized that a little money could go a long way. There was the local food bank that had been struggling, the shelter that could barely keep up with its bills, and a few small businesses in the community that were teetering on the brink of closing down. It wasn't about the glitz and glamour. It was about making a difference where I could. And here's where it gets even more real. I went from just wanting to help to actually doing something. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was easy, because it wasn't. But something about having that win, that moment of absolute joy and surprise, gave me the courage to step up in ways I hadn't before. I talked to people I wouldn't have normally spoken to. I opened doors to places I thought were closed off. And slowly, people started noticing. The work we did together, the help we offered, started to add up little by little, and before long, we were creating ripples that stretched far beyond my initial thought of just helping a few people. There were moments, though, when it was hard to keep going. There were days when I thought, why am I doing this? Shouldn't I be enjoying the fruits of my win a little more? Isn't this supposed to be about me for once? But those questions faded, and what remained was this feeling, deep inside me, that helping others was the real jackpot. It wasn't the money that mattered. It was what we did with it. The change we made together, the lives we touched. It became clear that this was bigger than me. This was about a community coming together, about people who had nothing but hope, and suddenly they had a chance. A chance that didn't come from luck, but from a choice to care, to share, and to love. And you know what? It felt better than any win I could have imagined. I remember this one time, walking down the street with a few of the people who had been helped, people who had come from struggling backgrounds, who were now finding their footing. One of them, a young girl, came up to me with a grin that could light up a room and said, "Thank you for believing in us. You didn't just change our lives. You gave us hope." In that moment, I didn't need anything else. I knew I had made the right choice, even if it wasn't the one I originally planned. So here I am, telling you this story not just as a recount of winning the lottery, but as a reminder. A reminder that sometimes the best wins aren't the ones we expect. Sometimes the real prize is in the people we help, the communities we build, and the moments we create together. And I want you to take this with you because you never know when your own moment of luck is going to come. And when it does, I hope you remember, true success is about what you do with your luck, how you use your gifts, and how you change the world around you. Trust me, the journey is way more rewarding than the destination.